Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Golden State Media Concept Social Media Podcast. I'm Pauline, and if you have been keeping up with social media news, Mariano is not here today. And last week, he was Skyping in, but right now he's kind of like taking a little bit of a break right now. So it's all going to be me and you this week, but we still have a lot to talk about. We are going to have a lot of fun. Mariano will pretend is on an oasis on vacation doing something, who knows, or maybe not doing something, who knows, but we will be missing Mariano. But in other news, if it's been we've talked about it before in a previous episode, and it's been around social media. It's been in the news, which is of course always a big deal. And around this time, it's September, and Apple every year around this time always releases a new iPhone, or they release like an updated iPhone, and people get all excited. And I personally honestly believe that it's also around this time when your outdated iPhone starts having all these little glitches and problems, and you're not quite sure because a couple weeks ago your phone was just fine, and now it's kind of a little iffy. And that did happen to me the other day. I actually was pushing around a regular iPhone 5. It wasn't an iPhone 5S. It wasn't any of that. It was just a regular i5, and it basically just was done. It just decided it was out of commission. It decided it wasn't going to charge anymore. The home button just popped off, and I was like, oh, great. So I went and got an iPhone 6 and it really hurt my heart because I knew that in just another 2 months, because September is typically when iPhone releases, when you can start like, you could pre-order or whatever the newest and latest iPhone. So I was like really in a quandary because I was like, maybe I should just get like a really cheap phone and wait for the iPhone 7. But then, like we discussed, it wasn't going to have the audio jack. And I was really torn because I wanted a new phone because I didn't want to deal with my phone without like the little home button. It was just janky. And I called one of those like repair places, and he told me it was going to cost like $75 to repair the home button. And I was like, no, not going to do that. So I went ahead and got the iPhone 6. And I think this is like iPhone 6S. I'm not quite sure. I honestly don't really know. But I was like, sure, let's just get it because I need a new phone anyways. And it was annoying. And like I said, it's always around this time when your outdated iPhone starts having all these glitchy problems. And so the iPhone 7 was released early this morning. And in the previous episode, Mariano and I were discussing how it was kind of odd that they weren't going to have an audio jack, and people were not liking that. But it's kind of cool. The iPhone 7 on the flip side is water resistant, which I think is awesome. So you can walk around pretending like you're Lil Wayne with your champagne, I'm guessing. And then it also is dust resistant, which I think is, I guess, a big deal. I don't really live in a dusty area, so I'm not quite sure why that would be a big problem, but hey, some places, otherwhere else, it's a big deal. So those were two features that I thought were really cool about the new iPhone. But I have recently found out that, so one, you have to have those little AirPods, right? And the AirPods are like $160 extra. Yikes. But my main concern was the fact that how am I supposed to plug in my phone in the car when I want to listen to music and everything? So there is like an adapter where you plug it into the charger port, and it's an adapter for headphone jacks. That's awesome. That's cool. Whatever. I get it. But what if I need to charge my phone and listen to music, right? And now these are serious problems that I have because, like I said, I listen to my phone in the car, and currently my commute is about an hour to my regular job. So I can't just have my phone playing music and listening to YG without charging my phone. So there's this thing, it's like a different adapter. It's actually called a dongle, which I don't know, that's just a really funny word to me, a dongle. And it's like $40, which, I mean, nothing with Apple is cheap, so it doesn't surprise me. But basically, it's like a little pack. Like, okay, so a dongle, it's an adapter where you plug it into the charger port, but then it has 2 charger port areas. So you can charge in your lightning cable into your car or whatever, into the outlet, and then you can charge the adapter for the headphone jack also. So it's kind of clunky. It's big. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I haven't seen one in live, just on the internet, so I'm not quite sure. But I mean, on the flip side, everybody is worried about like these little particular issues. But like I said, it was out. It was like released this morning and it sold out in like 10 minutes. So clearly it's really not that big of a deal. I am, cause like, I mean, if your car is Bluetooth enabled, that solves that problem also. But I don't know, when you're exercising, I guess you would need just the Bluetooth headphones again. I don't know. So, I mean, there's ways around it. I'm really excited because they do look really nice. Like, I think that they're dropping like a jet black iPhone, which to me just looks so sleek. I really do like it. But I mean, I don't know. You guys are probably having problems with your iPhone too, because it's like a conspiracy, I think, to get us into ordering the new phone. But hey, it's cool. I think it's really, really nice. Not quite sure about the dongle, but that is their answer to that. If you're team Android, then I guess you really don't have this problem at all. But in other news, speaking of using your phone, now, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Kim Kardashian kind of made this like a big deal, but there's like those Lumi cases where it has the perimeter of the phone case is like spotlights. So when you're taking selfies and everything, you look really cute, right? Because that's a really big deal. And it helps give you like the perfect lighting all the time, which is a lot of fun. And I think, I'm serious, I think it's really, really cute. So they also have one that is a ring light. And it's essentially the same idea. It's basically so that you can have your own personal spotlight on you that makes you just look ever so perfect while you're taking your selfies. And the reason why I bring this up is because Twitter and Instagram actually was taken by storm this past week because of a young man who was posting his senior portraits. And he goes by on Twitter, his name is J. Charles Beauty, and he's also a really big YouTuber, James Charles. And so it's his senior portraits and it's his senior pictures. And I remember when I took my senior pictures, I spent so much time ever so perfectly straightening and curling my hair. And I did my whole makeup thing. My mom, my sister, everybody was there to help me because these are really, this is an exciting time. You know, you're graduating high school and these are like memories. And this is mainly that picture that everybody will remember you for. It's your last, you know, for a lot of people, it's their last yearbook that they'll ever buy, because in college, I think I may have bought I think I bought the yearbook for my college, my senior year. I don't know, but that's the thing. Like, you know, high school senior portraits are a lot of fun and they're really cool. So James Charles actually, he, like I said, so he's a makeup artist and he is also a YouTuber. He's really big on Instagram and Twitter, all of that. So he had posted on Twitter on the day of senior pictures that he was really excited and that he had spent all day long making sure that his makeup was like on point, right? So it's cute and he looks really good. But the funny thing is, and what has taken Twitter and Instagram by storm, and I mean, it's been everywhere, is that he decides that when he sees his pictures that they're not good enough, because he was like, you know, I spend a lot of time on my makeup and it's just not being shown through. And so he actually retook his senior pictures, which a lot of us do. Luckily, I didn't have to retake mine, but I've retaken pictures in the past. And so he tweeted, so I retook my senior photos and brought my ring light with me so my highlight would be poppin'. I love being extra. And it's so funny because when and I don't know if you've seen his picture. I will post it on our Twitter feed so that you can see how great this picture is. And so he has his ring light, and when I tell you that his senior portrait almost looks fake, it's because it truly does. Like, his makeup, his contour, his highlight, everything is on fleek. And it's really funny because that's how serious these photos are, you know? And so I haven't seen exactly a ring light. I haven't seen anybody with one, but he like posted, he put it on his like he brought his tripod and everything. So you know how like when you go take your senior pictures, they have like their equipment and their setup. It wasn't enough, so he brought his own. He made sure he was popping. It looks really good. Zendaya even has retweeted his photo and mentioned how great that he looks, and so it's a lot of fun. I thought it was really cute, and it's just another fun way. I feel like lately, these last few years, with the boom of social media, and especially with everybody wanting to post everything, and especially these accomplishments such as graduating from high school, that we get to see the creativity that people do have with their senior pictures. And I know that in a previous episode, we discussed one girl's senior pictures getting photo bombed, and then his senior photos, he's making sure he is all the way on fleek. He even brought his friend with him. It's really cute. And so I will, like I said, post that on our Twitter feed so that you guys can see it. And it kind of makes me want to get one of those Lumi cases, so when I'm out and about, I can make sure I'm always looking good. Because, you know, when you're out and like it's dark sometimes and like the lighting's just not all that great, and you got to kind of like angle yourself to get those good shots. So I totally get it. But we're going to cut it to a break real quickly. And when we come back, I want to talk about another video that has gone viral on social media using a do-it-yourself face mask. So keep it locked here. You're listening to the Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA, from the UFC to extreme cage fighting. They got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
And welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts social media news podcast. I'm your host, Pauline. And right before the break, I wanted to discuss a do-it-yourself face mask video that I have seen. Now, makeup tutorials and just tutorials in general are flooding Instagram, Twitter, they're flooding Vine, they're flooding Periscope, Snapchat. I know, like, there's actually people that get paid on Snapchat and on all social media platforms, YouTube especially, for doing these reviews, for doing just tutorials on anything. Like, you can literally do a tutorial on anything and get paid for it. So, which, I mean, is kind of like the cool and fun thing about social media. And so now there is a account, there's a girl, her Twitter account is at @cachet__. Now, she posted a do-it-yourself kind of like an at-home face mask that she was trying, because they're nice and people like getting reviews on different products. And I know for a fact that there's sometimes where I buy a product depending on the reviews that I see. I think that's like why Yelp is such a big deal. I think that's why people continue to put out these YouTube videos and put out these reviews on Instagram, is because people really do watch them and we care and we make decisions based off of how these reviews go. So anyway, so this, I don't know if it was necessarily a tutorial, but it was kind of like more of like a review. And she was kind of like wanting to show the results of using this face mask. And so the video starts off with her actually peeling off this like black face mask, right? And I'm assuming it has a lot to do with mineral properties. I know that charcoal things are really in right now, and so charcoal face masks. So I'm assuming that it was something along those lines. And so she starts off the video peeling off her face mask, and clearly it's causing her a lot of pain. And so she starts screaming. She looks like she's about to cry. She's really dramatic with it. It's hilarious. And she's peeling it off slowly. And I never really thought about it because I haven't really done a face mask that like stuck to me like that. I use like those rice paper ones. But so she's peeling the face mask and having just a serious problem. And it's I think it's like a minute long video, and she's peeling it, and she's having to do it like section by section because it's causing her so much pain, and she's cursing up a storm, and she's just having a fit. And it's really funny because it shows, because I think that these tutorials and things like that, I always think that they always look so glamorous, and it always looks so easy, and it's effortless, and it's flawless, and it's like, yeah, you can do it too. It's easy. But hers is, I think, one, so popular right now because it's really funny, and it also shows how difficult it really is to do these like do-it-yourself type things. And it's funny because then halfway through, as she's peeling her mask off, she's like, ooh, this side of my face though looks really, really good. Like she's admiring the side that she can see, and her skin does look really good. Her skin looks flawless. But then she continues, she still has to peel the rest of it off. And it's just a lot of fun, and it's funny. And like I said, I think one other reason why it's so popular right now is because it's hilarious, and also because it doesn't glamorize. It looks like something that would happen to me. It really does. It looks like something that would happen if I tried to do a do-it-yourself makeup thing, because I'm not really that good at makeup anyways. And so like even just peeling off this face mask, and because like, you see people peel off those like do-it-yourself face masks and they never like flinch. So I'm wondering, who's really lying? Does it really hurt that bad, or does it not hurt at all? Because she looks like she's in a lot of pain, and I kind of feel bad for her. And a part of me wants to like reach through and like quickly peel it off for her so it can just be done, because she kind of goes kind of slow because it's hurting her so bad. And I'm sure it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. But so that's been a lot of fun. And like I said, she's at cachet __, and her video is going around everywhere. So you may have even already seen it. It is a lot of fun. I will post. Actually, I don't think I can post that video because like I said, she does use some choice words. But if you've seen it around Twitter or on Instagram, it's pretty funny. We are going to have to cut it to a break real quickly, but when we come back, I want to continue on with some of the other funny things that I've been seeing around Twitter, as well as give you an update on what has happened with Ryan Lochte. So keep it locked here. This is Pauline with the Golden State Media Concepts Social Media News Podcast.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now, don't bother, what's hot on Netflix, and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com /movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Social Media News Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline, and so I kind of wanted just to give an update because it was pretty big news at the time, and still kind of a little bit now, but I think it's kind of died down only because the Olympics are over. But we did discuss the whole like scandal / interesting situation with Olympian swimmer Ryan Lochte. And at that time, there was still a lot of buzz and speculation on exactly what had happened when he supposedly was held at gunpoint. Was he actually being robbed? Was he vandalizing things? Was it a wrong place, wrong time? There was just like a lot of speculation, and there wasn't really a lot of different stories coming out of that. And it was like, what do we believe? What don't we believe? What's the truth? What is he hiding? All of that. And so it has been reported by ESPN that Ryan Lochte is going to be suspended for 10 months due to this entire situation, and also will reportedly have to miss the 2017 World Championships as part of that suspension. And I don't quite remember if we had mentioned this earlier in a previous episode when discussing this situation, but he has also been dropped from a lot of endorsements. I believe all his endorsements. I don't quote me, but I want to say all of his American endorsements have dropped him. So this is having a really major effect on his career, his money, his public image. It really is affecting everything. So that was just like a quick little update on him and what he's kind of like going through right now. But, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's unfair at all. Supposedly he's also going to be on Dancing with the Stars. So, I mean, that's a good way in one direction, a type of way to try to make sure that we forget this little incident, and hopefully in hopes, I'm sure he's hoping that it'll blow over and that people will forget, because Dancing with the Stars is a lot of fun. So anyways, I kind of wanted to wrap up the episode on some more funny situations, because, you know, Twitter, Instagram, social media in general is a time where, and I'm not quite sure if it's because people think that they can just be anything on social media, and or it could also be because people just kind of like let it go, like let loose, and they don't really care what they post on social media. A lot of people, I'm not saying all people, because I know that there's a lot of people that use it just strictly for business. There's a lot of people that use it strictly to build their brands. There's also, I know people that just use it and they only have like a couple of followers because they just want to stay up to date with their friends. And so, or they just want to stay up to date with celebrities. People use social media for a variety of things. Now, my favorite thing about social media, though, is when different companies, organizations, anything, profiles, high profile celebrities, when they get, like, you know, ESPN has its own Twitter account. Like, you could follow your favorite athletes, your favorite celebrities, your favorite brands. Everybody kind of has at least some type of social media account, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think it's like probably the most popular. And I kind of like that you can use Twitter when you have like a problem with a company. You can like tweet at them and they respond. That is how some like, I know online platforms, like, you know, like online companies that are solely online, that's another way to get in contact with them and get problems resolved. So, I mean, there's a lot of uses for social media, but I personally love it when there are companies that use social media and have like kind of like a more fun twist. Like, they don't just post tweets in regards to just their product. Like, they interact with their customers. They interact whenever they're mentioned, because if you don't know, companies and different high profile just accounts can have a way to search every time that they're mentioned in different tweets, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. So I like it when companies, organizations, whatever, they just use social media to interact with their customers. And I believe it's IHOP who has like a really funny account where like they literally interact with you and they will join in conversation with you. They keep up with the times. They're really like, it's a kind of like a really hip, I don't know. I don't think I'm really hip for saying that something's hip, but it's a really fun and modern, up to date, like they use slang on IHOP. They will interact with you and just joke with you. And it seems, honestly, to me, the best way to describe IHOP's account is there's two best friends on Twitter, and they were told, go at it. You can respond any way that you want as long as you don't use any profanity or any inappropriate innuendos, and you can just have at it. And so it makes it a lot of fun. And I actually follow IHOP. I don't even like eating at IHOP, to be honest, but I follow their Twitter account because it is that funny. So anyways, I bring all this up because now Merriam-Webster is the dictionary, right? And they post like word of the day where they will pick a word that is not too common, and they will basically put a little blurb, a little tweet, excuse me. It's not a blurb, it's a tweet. They will tweet out what the word means, how to use it in a sentence. Like, just, it's kind of like a little synopsis of like a dictionary entry that they will post on Twitter. And so, you know, you can use social media to educate yourself, and that's a lot of fun too. But for some reason now, I saw this online and I went straight to their account to try to see if I could find these tweets. But clearly, these tweets were deleted off their official account. However, like we always talk about, anything that you post on social media never truly really is deleted even after you delete it. People screenshot everything. And so now Merriam-Webster is the dictionary, and I use Merriam-Webster's dictionary. They have over 100,000 followers, so they have a really good presence online, and they interact with their followers when people tweet at Merriam-Webster. And so just the other day on September 6th, somebody was tweeting in regards of how to use the word mad to mean angry, right? Because you can say somebody's mad and you can mean that they're crazy or they're mad because they are angry, right? So Merriam-Webster tweeted back, it's fine to use mad to mean angry, even if doing so makes some people mad. Now that's kind of cute. It's clever. It's a way to use a word with two different meanings, you know? I thought it was clever. It was cute. But then in response, a gentleman whose Twitter account is at Gabriel Roth, he tweeted back to Merriam-Webster, I feel like at Merriam-Webster is turning into the chill parent who lets your friends come over and get, like it says and get high on there. Excuse me. I didn't know that that's what it all entailed. But basically he just keeps going on kind of talking about Merriam-Webster. And one of the tweets that he says is, if no one's making rules for us, it means we're responsible for our own decisions. And we feel kind of ambivalent about that, to be quite honest. TBQH. So Merriam-Webster, here's the kicker. So this all happens on September 6th, right? Well, Merriam-Webster on September 7th responds to him and says, no one cares how you feel. Now, I don't know who was in charge of the dictionary's Twitter account at that time, but clearly they had no chill that day and they were not caring. And they said, no one cares how you feel. And so, of course, Twitter went in a frenzy. That particular tweet had over 16,000 retweets and 27,000 likes. And people just loved it, and people ate it up. People responded to them. And I honestly thought it was hilarious because I think it caught everybody off guard, because you're not expecting the dictionary to really respond to you in that manner. And it's just, it was classic. And like I said, if you try to go back on Merriam-Webster's Twitter account and go through their timeline, you cannot find these tweets again. So clearly they were deleted. I don't know. Who knows? That person who tweeted that may or may not be without a job now due to that. But I mean, I hope that the person wasn't fired, because it was kind of clever. It was catchy. I mean, we're talking about the dictionary. It kind of made them relevant, because I mean, I love words and I'm a writer, but I don't follow the dictionary on Twitter. But now I do. I follow them now. And so it's a way to be kind of clever and to get more followers and to get a bigger presence, because now I follow Merriam-Webster on Twitter, because I just hope that I will see one of these gems again on my newsfeed. So that's actually going to take it for this episode of the Social Media News Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline, and of course, as always, you can listen to this episode or any previous or future episodes of the Social Media News Podcast on our network website, gsmcpodcast.com. You can also find this episode and, like I said, any future or previous episodes on Twitter, Instagram. Oh, I'm just stuck on Instagram. You cannot find me on Instagram. You cannot find the podcasts on Instagram, but you can find them on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. So, and like I said, I'm going to be tweeting some things that we talked about today on the episode on our Twitter profile. So go check us out and follow us. You're listening to the Social Media News Podcast, and I've been your host, Pauline. Have a good day. We out.